In this video, what I want to cover is cloud hands. And cloud hands is one of the most well-known forms and moves in Tai Chi, and actually a really important foundation move. And just like anything with the other fundamentals of Tai Chi and the fundamental moves, you can do this as an exercise in itself. And a lot of times I actually do it by itself and practice it without the actual shifting motions like we see in the forms, shifting to the side. You can practice it shifting to the side and then shifting to the right, and that will actually give you a really also a good way of working on the footwork. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm not going to go too much over the footwork. And the footwork is really basic, where the turning and body shifting motion is exactly the same as the bear turn. So I'm going to post a link in the video and you guys can go check that out. Really practice the bear turn, the shifting and turning, shifting and turning. Okay, so what cloud hands is basically, if anybody's seen the Karate Kid video, is wax on and wax off. Okay, but and done a little bit differently, but basically that's the whole idea, is a wax on and a wax off. Okay, so it's not really the wax off, it's just basically the wax on. Hand and our wrist goes up at the same side as the side that we're going to shift to. So for example, as we shift to the right, our right hand is going to come up. As we turn, then our hand kind of turns over. And as we shift to the left, then our hand goes down. Okay? As we shift to the left, our left hand comes up and turn. Shift to the right, our left hand comes down and then across. Okay? So one thing to keep in mind is that when we're doing the cloud hands, we want to really stay in the region of below our chin, usually below our collarbones, to the length or the bottom portion of right about our pubic bone level. Okay, so as you shift, don't bring your hands up to the face. Okay, really keep it in this region. Okay, shifting and turning. Okay, and the other key aspect you need to watch out for is the line. So generally, our wrist, okay, our wrist area should be somewhere along the center line of the body. Okay, so we should bring our hands up. Don't bring your hands across over to the shoulder area, or keep it over to the left here. So bring it up to the center line, return, and then it shifts over and out. And always also kind of remember the elbow stays about 1 fist width from the body. Okay, so don't close up onto the body as you're doing the cloud hands. So for example, bring our hands up and then closing down, and then our elbows ending to be in the back. Right? So make sure you always keep it in the front. So the cloud hands is, as we come up, our palms are facing towards the center, towards our body. And that's when we shift. As we turn, what we're going to do is we're going to start turning our forearm, starting the motion from there so that it turns the wrist and turns the palm, so then the palm is facing down. Okay, so shift and turn. Okay, now as we shift to the other side, we're going to drop our hands, and then we're going to turn our palms so it's facing the other direction, the left, and it's going to create a sweeping motion. Okay, so sweeping, think about pushing water, okay, as you come down. Okay, so same thing on the left side, left hand comes up, watch out for the wrist, it should be about the center line of the body. Turn the forearm, wrist, hands, palms facing down. Shift back to the right, drop our left hand, and then turn, and then creating a sweeping motion with the left hand with the palm facing towards the right. Okay, so practice to 2, okay, back and forth, making sure is you're shifting and turning always with the pelvis, low back, mid back, back, shoulders, arms, hands. Okay. shifting and turning. Okay. Now, what I would recommend is start out by practicing one hand first. Okay. So get used to this whole entire motion. Okay. Sometimes when you start doing both hands together, you tend to get lost somewhere in focusing one aspect of the forms. For example, as you're coming up with the left hand, you forget to focus on the right hand as it comes down. And some students of mine, or what I notice is they either just leave their hand hanging, they forget to sweeping motion, or if they do the sweeping motion, they forget the upper hand motion. So get used to doing one hand. Okay, if you're finding trouble doing both hands at a time, so get used to doing and practicing this one hand motion. Get used to that, and then make sure you also to practice the other side, coordinating with the footwork, and then the arm motion, and then the body motion. Okay, and then add it to, then do both hands together, and then you won't get as confused and you won't get as lost. Okay. Some other key aspects of this is not to lead with the elbow. Okay. Sometimes you feel you don't bring your elbows up so it's pointing out towards the camera, and then lifting your elbows. Okay. And the other thing is, when you do that, we have a tendency to get too wide, meaning as we're turning the body, our hands really get out, and this elbow is actually away from the side of our body, and then our hands are to the side. What you really want to do is you want to keep the elbow so that as you drop your arms, you settle right next to the body line. Okay? So when we do our turns, don't turn too far out to the body, so then now this becomes out. Where your hand is really going at the end is almost probably a 90-degree angle to the body, or a little bit more than that, 95 at most 100 degrees out from the body line. But usually go up to about 90 degrees and that's it, and down. So make sure you don't bring your arms too far out as you're turning. Okay. Then what that actually does is actually creates a tightness and a strength through the shoulders, and that actually blocks up the energy and the chi that actually should be coming down to the hands. Okay, so practice just stationary, this cloud hands motion. Okay, and if you would like, then you can add in the footwork, and the footwork would be the same as the ones in the forms, and you can check, and then you can go through the cloud hand form video on that to do the footwork, stepping out to the left, or you can also do the opposite side, stepping out to the right. Okay, so left, okay, and then right. Okay, so that's cloud hands. I hope I covered everything. So you can include the cloud hands in your daily basic practice. So what I usually do is I'll start out my daily practice going through my bear turns, and then I'll go into cloud hands. Okay, and that really helps to build foundation into our arm work, our hands work, and our footwork, and our body work, and start getting that connection and our total body connection between our feet and our hands, and the natural motions, or the motions of the Taiji, and how we start from the feet, the pelvis, low back, mid back, our back, shoulders, arms, and the hands. Okay, so practice hard. If you have any questions, comment below. If you're enjoying what I'm doing, give it a thumbs up, or like the videos, and I will see you guys next time.